Hey folks, Ernie here, Trader of Futures. The beginning of a new week. It is Monday, September 10th. And today is the first day of the Jewish New Year. Of course, next Wednesday, not this coming Wednesday, will be Yom Kippur. It's when we throw away all our sins and renew. But today, over the weekend, Bitcoin continues to fall. The price continues to fall, but its dominance continues to rise compared to alternative coins or altcoins. Quite dramatically, I might add. Why don't we take a look at that chart and just see what we're dealing with? So here's the Bitcoin dominance chart. The one thing that's notable on here is the dramatic fall of Ethereum. Look at that. Wham! And then, of course, this is the rest of the bunch, the others as they are called. And everything else is just sort of, slowly degrading. While Bitcoin just continues to rise. Amazing. Now that's rise relative to everything else. I wouldn't call rising an operative word. Bitcoin has seen its troubles. So why is Bitcoin so troubled? I mean, I thought that Bitcoin was going to open up new markets, new possibilities, new ways to transact business, lending coins, payment processors, work in multitudes of different use cases. Where are all these use cases? Where are the companies that are propping up? Where's the adoption curve? Where's the new money? Do you see any of that? I don't see any of it. I just keep on hearing about little straggling things happening here and there. I guess the ecosystem is slowly kind of building out. The Lightning Network hasn't gone anywhere. It just seems dead in its tracks. Is it going to be like this right through to the end of the year, to the end of next year? No one knows. I don't think that there's there's a lot of hubbubaloo and news and other activity going on, but that's certainly not reflected in the altcoins. What we do see is incidences of fraud on the rise. As a matter of fact, fraud this year is going to be 3 times what it was in 2017, which is hard to believe when you had companies like BitConnect and BitPetite and Chain Group and on, Golden Coin, and it just went on and on and on and on with all these lending coins that were just total scams. What do we have today? There are still scams going on. Recently, I think Congress put out some kind of mediocre report saying that they were convinced that Bitcoin wasn't the favorite thing for terrorists. That's the most positive news that's come out. That terrorists are not embracing Bitcoin. I'm not sure exactly how they determine that. But for that reason alone, we should all be going to the bank and taking out mortgages and buying Bitcoin, right? Because terrorists are not involved. Again, I'm not sure exactly how they determine that. Of course, terrorists were I'm not sure the terrorists need Bitcoin to survive. Although Bitcoin is a pretty good, or actually the altcoins are probably better money laundering schemes. But it would seem that fiat cash is probably contains more anonymity than most of the altcoins, including Bitcoin. But that doesn't necessarily mean just because one is better at this or that doesn't mean that they're not using it. Of course they are. And it's quite easy to obfuscate addresses, wallet addresses, and transactions to make them virtually untraceable. I mean, that's definitely happening. So where has Bitcoin gone wrong? What is happening? Why is Bitcoin not making the kind of inroads that we all thought it was going to make? Why is Ethereum going off the cliff? Where are the new adopters? Typically, when you have, a new technology and it promotes all this promise, there is a steady influx of people and it keeps on rolling like a snowball going downhill. But it appears as if the hill has stopped and the snowball has stopped rolling. We just have a bunch of whales and others and pundits that are trying to push that snowball along, now trying to push it uphill. We used to be talking about all these new projects and white papers and roadmaps. Where's all that? All right, let's go to the current comments. Today we still have the Bitcoin scam. Yes, and since bankers are terrorists and Bitcoin is their wet dream. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that bankers really give a darn at all about Bitcoin, to tell you the truth. They'll give a darn about it as long as they think that they can make some money off of it, if they can offer some service or whatever. Why do you believe in cryptos? I don't know. I don't necessarily believe. I mean, what do you believe in? Everything is part of a human institution. I mean, do you believe in, what is there to believe in? How is it making our lives better? Truth Clown says, hello, Ernie. From what I've learned from your course, I think that Bitcoin is 70%, will hit and settle at 6,000. This should happen in the next few days and sit there for a while, then drop below. I mean, that's a reasonable analysis. I mean, we have a fairly large volume node that we're sitting in right now, and right on that edge at 6,000, even maybe down to 5,800 or 5,700, and below that there's just this huge volume well. And the whales and the miners and the exchanges are doing everything they can to prop it up. Every time it starts to go down, they pump it a little bit. So Christopher, because the pump and dump hype train is over? No, I don't think so at all. I mean, this could go on indefinitely, as long as you can keep a certain number of people involved and interested. But after a while, that interest is going to wane. There's only so many people that you can keep involved in this. It's only so long that people have attention to this. I mean, if they're not making any real money, what are they going to do? Am I close or way off? Okay, I think I answered that. I think that your analysis is good, Truth Clown. Hell or raise. Has Bitcoin crashed? I mean, from 20K went to 5K. What happened at .com crash? Was it going, where was it going after the dip? The .com crash Went down pretty hard in 2001, and then it went steadily up for the next 9 years, 10 years, until we, well, from 2001 up until 2008 or 2009, so for the next 7 or 8 years, until we crashed again when we had the mortgage crash. And then in 2011, of course, we had 9/11. That didn't help anything, but that was only a temporary whatever. But the dot-com era actually had some real technology behind it and real businesses that emerged. Now, that was after the crash. So here we are post-crash, and I don't see anything new happening. I don't see anything spectacular happening. I don't see any new cool applications coming out that people must have, or cool services, or companies saying, man, we're making 10 times more money now that we're using crypto or blockchain. I don't see that. ETH getting dumped harder than Tower 7. The alt blinker. Do you see a possibility of Bitcoin crypto will disappear? No, I don't. I think it'll be around for a while. There's just too many people involved. Someone's going to do something with this and make something out of it at some point. I don't know when that's going to be, or if it's going to be anything significant. Maybe all of crypto will just kind of fade away, and then some little doohickey company will make something along the side and it will become a hit, and that might be the revitalization. I don't know. But I don't see this I don't see this groundswell happening. I don't see a wide adoption, new money coming. I don't see any of that at all. Keen, will Bitcoin ever be gone completely? I'm not sure. Maybe there was a misspelling there. In what scenario would that happen? Yeah, I think I said that. I don't think that it'll be gone completely. None. Once BTC will fall, I think a good trade will be to buy ETH. Yeah, I don't know. There's no love for Ethereum right now. And Sam Wilson says, some companies are admitting to save money with Ripple's XRP. What do you mean they're admitting, or they're reporting? I haven't seen that. You know, and it's so few and far between. One or two companies do not make a market. And where are they making money? I just haven't seen that. I just don't know. I am really perplexed. So if we go to, well, let's go and look at the news. Let's see what's happening there. I mean, maybe there's something in crypto that we're missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google the term Bitcoin, go to the news section of Google, and then, well, I'll just show you what I'm doing. So here I've gone to the news section of the search results, and then I'll go to tools and I'll look at the last 24 hours. Let's make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. Bitcoin criticism answered. Wow. This is news from Seeking Alpha. Many powerful people and institutions have come out against Bitcoin. We discussed this. Some of the detractors are the current Fed chairman. Ooh. That might be interesting to look at. Let's take a look at that. I cover why I, as a U.S. citizen, have decided to own Bitcoin. And no one really cares, Hans. Members of our private investment community, crypto blue chips, get exclusive access to ideas like this one. Ooh! So in other words, his article is nothing more than clickbait so that you can join their service. And of course, he wants to show that he is involved in the community by reading as many comments on his articles as possible. That's very good. But Fed Chairman Powell on Bitcoin, Jerome Powell told members of Congress that relatively unsophisticated investors see the asset go up in price and they think, this is great, I'll buy this. In fact, there is no promise of that. That's true. Okay. All right, so then he's trying to make the analogy that there is no promise that any investment will go up. But we've been waiting. Sure, you can look at this and say, yeah, Bitcoin has gone up. Powell goes on to say, Fed chairman also said cryptocurrencies are not real currencies because they have no intrinsic value. Now, we've covered the whole idea of intrinsic value. It's hard to show that virtually any currency has any real intrinsic value. Intrinsic value would imply that there are secondary uses and income-producing uses to the underlying. With crypto, there is no underlying. Well, he says, this attack doesn't make much sense. What is intrinsic value after all? Intrinsic value is the perceived or calculated value of a company, including intangible and intangible factors using fundamental analysis. That's in a different context. To say that it doesn't fit this paradigm is ridiculous. Well, I don't see any real value in this article. But let's take a look at other news. Bitcoin market's volatile after U.S. SEC suspends trading they suspended trading. Where did the SEC suspend trading? That might be interesting. In 2 crypto-based securities. U.S. regulators banned trading of XBT, providers Bitcoin and Ether Tracker 1 security Sunday, September 9th, briefly sending the crypto markets tumbling. So yesterday they suspended trading of XBT providers Bitcoin and Ether Tracker 1 securities. I'm not really familiar. Bitcoin Tracker 1, CXBTF, and Ether Trackers would cease trading until September 20th. Wow. The commission temporarily suspended trading in the securities because of confusion amongst market participants regarding these instruments. Let's see. The commission cautions broker-dealer shareholders and prospective purchasers that they should carefully consider the foregoing information along with all other currently available information, any information subsequently issued by the company. So it sounds like these things weren't properly regulated. And so they decided to step in. But these were debuting on Sweden's NASDAQ. Okay. This is the SEC, meanwhile, warned brokers over strict compliance requirements enforcing its latest temporary ban. If any broker or dealer enters any quotation which is in violation of the rule, the commission will consider the need for prompt enforcement action. So this, I think this sort of adds to the SEC chairman and then all the solicitor generals or whatever they have as their group in future decisions that may be made on Bitcoin ETFs, for instance. And of course, Bitcoin ETFs, I think, are a non-starter anyways. Can Bitcoin save Argentina? Argentina! I can't sing. So when people ask me what got me into Bitcoin, I often answer with one word, Argentina. Oh my God. Love, hate. My Argentina Bitcoin connection stems from 6 years spent in Buenos Aires during the previous decade. While my family and I adore living there, we had tortured love-hate relationship with the country. And would it do? Would a Bitcoin like make it all easy for you or something? I don't get it. And this sounds like a nothing story. The crisis cycle, a fix for government too. This is someone who has rose-colored Bitcoin glasses. You know, looking at Bitcoin as the savior of all humanity. Bitcoin price watch. Bitcoin remains at a risk below 6,500. Why 6,500? Why is that the risk point? Because they said so. Bitcoin price stable at 6,300, but crypto market en route to 2018 low. Bitcoin rises above 6,300 as New York approves dollar-linked digital. Huh? So the New York State's Department of Financial Services approved the Gemini Trust. Gemini is the Winklevoss twins exchange. So that was by Reuters. Now we can see where the story is mainly coming from, because normally you would see Forbes in here and Fortune, but you don't see them, or Bloomberg, but we do see Reuters, and they are part of the shill network, the Bitcoin shill network. But some of the biggies, they aren't in here. It's all, it's all the, the Bitcoin only news services. Bitcoin technical analysis. See, we don't even have CNN in here. Where is CNN on Bitcoin? They're not even in the top fold. Are there any stories by any of the they are out of the game. There is no mainstream news media stories on Bitcoin. Wow. Now we're only looking at the past. Well, here's CNBC. Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss aren't letting rejections from the SEC or the sharp downturn in the price of Bitcoin this year stop them from launching their new unregulated, what is it going to be called? Unveiled the Gemini dollar, a regulated stablecoin, that will allow people to send and receive US dollars on the Ethereum cryptocurrency network. The Gemini dollar, which has received approval from the New York Department of Financial Services. Yeah, that's a little, aims to maintain a value one-on-one with the US dollar. So, well, what is the value prop here, Winklevoss twins? The idea is to bridge the gap between traditional banking system and the cryptocurrency market. So I guess that it's like a slippery slope. Once you're into Gemini dollar and you get a taste of Bitcoin and crypto, you just won't want to leave it. Oh, but I'm using my Gemini dollars. Yeah, I don't get that. Can someone enlighten me, please? All right, let's go down and revisit the comments. I need my my glasses for this. What do you think about the currency problems in the world now? The currency problems in the world aren't much different than they've always been. There is no specific threat or anything like that. Jacob Lynn says, no, they're not, Sam Wilson. Stop that nonsense. What did Sam Wilson say? Some companies are admitting to save money. Oh, with ripples. He's disputing Sam's XRP comment. All right, we got some fighting going on in the comment section. Adam, XRP is not the same thing as XRapid. It's a joke. XRP shouldn't even exist as a crypto. Well, I mean, you can make that argument for a lot of different things. I mean, who's using it as a currency? Mark my words, dollar will crash way before Bitcoin ever does. Okay, 1010110. We will mark your words. By the way, what is that in in hex? I don't know. Let's find out. How about we need a binary calculator. We need to find out what 1010110 means. And if I plug that in there and calculate it, it has the decimal value of 290. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. Ernie, do you know when Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, sold his Litecoins? Yeah, he sold it at the very top. That's when he sold it, at the very top. Funny, the Fed chairman is talking about intrinsic value. Sam Wilson, I have, in total honesty, not enough technical knowledge to say if it's true or not. I'm just curious about what I read, but I think it might be an interesting topic. Does XRP have a use case? Yeah, the use case is what, well, at least what they started out as, is this sort of medium, a transfer medium that they would use in the Ripple network for doing international bank transfers. That never really materialized. And then they started talking about it being a currency after that kind of failed. And then they were going to use it, do a deal with Western Union, and that failed. So it just keeps on getting shopped around for different things. How will it ever get adoption? Slow transaction, expensive fees, fraudulent exchanges, volatile prices, massive faked trading volume, billions of market cap from fake tether pumps. It is all nonsense right now. Do any companies actually accept crypto payments? Yeah, there are a lot of companies that accept crypto payments, including myself. I accept crypto payments if you want to take my trading course. Oh, by the way, I just put out a new video on my YouTube channel. And so I'm restarting up my volume profile course, but now I'm renaming it because it's not just strictly a volume profile course. It is a high probability trading patterns and systematic framework, also using volume profile and high probability patterns as sort of a methodology to find great trading setups. And it includes a one-on-one one-on-one coaching session with me. So the course plus the coaching session plus ongoing support, great deal. Plus, when you take my course, this is like a little advert in the middle of my show. If you take my course, you can then watch you can monitor or participate in every other course from there on in. And that's because every course is a little bit different because we have different people and they ask different questions. It's a completely interactive course. So it's a really good deal. And I'm starting them up again this Saturday. I have a course. Oh, here's another backed question. And it's the same guy. Trojan Hell keeps on asking me about backed. Will boost BTC prices. Everyone is waiting for it. No, I said last time, backed is bull. Backed bull. Let's do a little search on backed. See what's going on. And just to sort of see what kind of results that we get. Put it all to rest. Will backed be the Bitcoin bull? All right. So you can't. This was Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, backs pros versus cons for the mass adoption of cryptocurrency continues to gain ground. I don't know what that really means. They're building an open, seamless global network. I'm sure they are. It's evolving. But, look at the stories. They're all older. it seems that ICE's backed CEO platform won't support margin trading. Well, what good is that? I don't know. I think that backed is not worth pursuing right now, unless something monumental happens. Global Coin reports article about MUFEG, Japan. What is that? I don't know what that is. All right. These guys get all fired up about random shitcoins are hilarious. Yeah. Well, Backed isn't really a shitcoin. Backed is an effort by ICE, the people who own the New York Stock Exchange, along with a few other companies, and apparently they're going to create a payment system and some other kind of trading platform that's not going to be margined. It's like everybody else. So I guess in a way, it's like just getting excited about another shitcoin. Hex is bullshit from Richard Hart. Well, now Hex has been pretty important over the years for the evolution of computing. If we didn't have Hex, we wouldn't have text on the screen, quite frankly. Do you think the problems are getting worse now than the dollar is getting stronger? Since there are no correlation between the dollar and cryptos. German Genomo. What do you think about Tether? From my point of view, it is very dangerous. I am sick and tired of talking about Tether. Everyone's talking about how the whole Bitcoin market's going to blow up because of Tether and all the malfeasance and manipulation that's going on there. Still, nobody has audited Tether, and no one will ever probably audit Tether. And so I think that it's just something that nobody really cares about. Bitcoin having a tough time breaking below the huge volume well under 6,000. You reckon we'll ever see enough selling volume to take us under? Well, okay. So, Fox, I've said this many times before, that in order for Bitcoin to have a resurgence, to go up, in order for crypto to get out of this morass, the mire of this tar pit, it must come down hard. Bitcoin must come down hard, down hard. You must feel the pain. We need pain for it to go up higher. I hope that was dramatic enough for you. Ernie, any fiat trading platforms you recommend for Canadians? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be talking about this one a lot, and it involves crypto because you can use crypto to get into it, and you can trade. You can basically trade futures and other things for fractional amounts. It's like and that's simple FX. It's like a foreign exchange type of thing. You can also trade foreign exchanges, and you can get into particularly futures. And I'm going to be, as you know, I put out a lot of futures calls, and this is a way to get involved in futures for very little money. I mean, you can take as little as $100 and start trading the futures calls that I put out. But I'm going to be talking about that in some detail, and I'll be bringing on one of my friends to talk about that in some great detail. And I have an account there, and I know a lot of you a while ago may have followed me onto that account. But just give it some time. This week, as a matter of fact, we'll be talking about it. But it is a really simple way to get into trading if you don't have a lot of money, and if you have some crypto lying around, you can then transfer that over there, and then you can start trading real futures. And it's a great platform, Simple FX. And you can also trade regular stocks. Some, and not all, but all the big ones. Deutsche Bank will dip under $10. Buy it and enjoy a 20% gain. Do not fall for the collapse nonsense. Deutsche Bank. Because the Ute Blinker says, what do you think of the future of Deutsche Bank will be? And Miro says, don't worry about it. Quite dramatic, thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Ernie, easy. You're going to mess your plans, your pants. No, I have a flair for the dramatic. That invigorates me when I can put a little bit of. That was painful to watch. As long as you felt it, I love watching a movie that makes me cringe. There's this one movie, I think it's called Life, and it's a sci-fi flick. And man, that movie makes me cringe. I have to turn it off sometimes. I've tried to watch it all the way through, but I haven't gotten there yet. Goddamn, open an account with Interactive Brokers. Hard to beat them. Interactive Brokers is pretty good. I have an Interactive Broker account and got a couple of positions in there. But Simple FX allows you to get into trading if you don't have a lot of money and you just want to start honing your skills and developing a strategy. I think that's the way to go, because you can learn without sacrificing a lot of money. Any opinion on Ethereum? The only opinion I have, the technology? Not really. I mean, have they gone to proof of stake yet? I have no opinion, no. You deserve to be an actor in Hollywood. Yeah. Ernie, did you buy any weed stocks? No, I don't have any weed stocks. Until we have a change in the DEA and from a federal point of view, I'm not going to get involved in any weed stocks. But as soon as that happens, things are going to go off the hook. I come here to relax and enjoy Ernie's rants. So let me get it. So you can relax while I'm ranting. That's a neat trick. Like that. IB has leverage of about 50. Well, actually the leverage, I mean, that 40 or 50 times leverage with futures, that's normal. Yeah, that's right. Life, great film. That jelly octopus type thing they got from Mars, I guess, or something. Yeah, that thing is awesome. Yes, FX allows shorting. How many times you going to ask if Ernie is buying weed stocks? He keeps saying no. Yeah, let me put it out there. I am not going to buy any weed stocks until they are on regular markets, not over-the-counter markets. And that's probably not going to happen until Congress takes it out of the hand of the DEA and they take it off as a Schedule I drug, which is absolutely ridiculous. That will happen soon, I think. Hopefully one day Bitcoin turns bullish, and I can't wait to see Ernie's bullish rants. Keep doing good. And you're right. I will. I love being bullish. Of course, then you have to come up with new things, new ways to, I guess, express the joy and the over the topness of going to the moon. But the death part with going down, that's pretty cool. That's easier, I think. So the bullish rants will be a little bit more difficult, but I can do it. I promise you. Should have bought weed stocks after seeing Elon Musk smoking a joint. Well, I think that now is a good time to actually buy Tesla because it took a pretty big hit after he smoked a joint on Joe Rogan's podcast. And I think it was, like anybody's really surprised that Elon Musk smoked a joint or smokes. And I don't, there's just too many people out there still that are stuck into this whole reefer madness problem. Hi, Ernie. This is from Yak. Finally catching you live. Some questions for the training. How many people are in the class? How long does it go? How do we communicate, writing call? How experienced do I have to be? Those are all excellent questions, Yak. So the class lasts about 2.5 to 3.5 hours, depending on what level of Q&A that we have near, at the end of the class and also during the class, because it's a completely interactive class. I never have more than 9 or 10 people. 10 is the absolute maximum. Typically, we have 4 to 7 people. If a bunch of people sign up, I try to split them up between a morning session and an afternoon session. One held at 8:30 and the other one at 2 p.m. on Saturdays. So the class will last about 2.5 to 3.5 hours. It's recorded, so you get the recording. Also, once you've taken the class, you can take all subsequent classes after that and participate in them if you want. And get the videos from those if you join those. And how experienced do you have to be? Any experience level, because I go over some very basic things and things that even the newbie traders need to understand before they start getting completely into trading. Like and share for Ernie. Thank you, Gabrielle Garza. Yes, please. Ernie, please. Isn't Citibank DAR and leading in crypto good news? I have not seen that. So that's a new one by me. So I'm going to do a little search for that. So Citibank's new digital asset receipt as a Bitcoin security. Business Insider has something on it. Well, here. Let's look at the Business Insider. Article. Let's see how they. To read this exclusive story, join Business Insider Prime. I don't want to do that. Screw that. I got to join you in order to read the stupid article? Is there anybody else that's talking about this? Man, it must be big news that no one's talking about it. All right, well, look here. Citigroup's new digital asset receipt, or DAR, as a Bitcoin security product looks to crack crypto code for investors. Crack the crypto code for investors. What the hell does that mean? Citigroup is working in order to launch a new Bitcoin trading product to the market. A new Bitcoin trading product. So another ETF or something like that. The main intention is to be ahead of its tier 1 banking rivals around the world. The information has been released by some sources inside Citigroup. Apparently, they say that the company is getting legally creative in order to offer customers a tradable physical Bitcoin asset. I wonder what that means. Legally creative, in quotes. The company is getting legally creative. As per sources, the product that they are going to develop is known as Digital American Depository Receipt, or ADAR, which functions as, that's a horrible, it should be, no. They should call it a digital American deposit, a DAD. That's what they should call it. Just having a bunch of this is not an acronym. An acronym has to sound like a word, which functions as a foreign security product. Foreign. So it's not American? We expect it would be a security structured so that the custody, settlement, etc., would fit into existing systems and regimes versus an NDF, which is an OTC derivative. Many investors are often more restricted in their use of derivatives versus purchasing securities. In other words, no one's going to know what the hell this is. An NDF is a non-deliverable forward, are futures contracts in which counterparties settle the difference between the contracted NDF price or rate and the prevailing spot price. I don't know. So going back to the question. So if the question is if I think that this is going to make a difference, well, it's hard to even understand what the hell it is by this description. Most people aren't going to have a clue. And seeing that there's only one story out there that even talks about it, and the other one gives an exclusive. You have to have a membership with the blog or whatever the hell it is in order to read it, because it's exclusive content. I say that it's bullshit. I hope you're not too close to the upcoming hurricane. Nah, it's going to hit North Carolina, that area. I'm in Massachusetts, which is much further up. Is it one session or more? The class is one session plus a one-on-one coaching session. So you join the class with a few people. We take that class and you get materials and other things, plus you get the recording of the class. And then we have a one-on-one session that is customized to your specific needs. And then, of course, I have my my Discord group that you can join, and you can talk to me there, or you can. I provide phone support and email support, and you can talk to me like that. So that's basically the deal. If I'm visiting the session of others, does it work only live, or can I watch it over and over? Okay, so I think I said that. The first session, the first time you come to the class, it's live, all right? All previous people that have ever taken the course are invited to come to every session, and we get one or two people showing up at the sessions, and they fill out. And so the next session that I offer, the next time I offer the course, you're also invited, and everybody's invited, and some people do come to the course. All right. None. I mean for IB, the owner funds total aspects. Okay, I'm not sure. Nick Painter. We like Nick Painter because he is helping me save my dog's life. And everybody else that has contributed as well. And by the way, Nick, his treatment is going fantastic. He looks really, really good. And so we're going to just keep on. It's been about 2.5, 3 weeks now since we've been doing the treatments, and so we're very hopeful. Tried to sign up for coaching, Ernie. Says it appears to be spam. What? I don't understand that. It appears to be spam. That's odd. I mean, did you go to Trader or Futures? How can that appear to be spam? It's a secure website. How can it be spam? I would consider myself a trading newbie, signed up for the course yet, haven't done it live yet, but have watched a recording of it. It's easy enough to get into and well explained. Well, thank you. Gregory Olszewski. ADR is a general term. It's not the name of the ETF. No, I understand. But still, ADR is a lousy term. That was my point. I was just trying to be A dick. Miro. Guys, make sure you get plenty of trades on demo platform first. Whatever broker, don't get killed, be patient. Well, this is one of the reasons why I like Simple FX, that you can put a very small amount of money there and, not risk a lot. Like if you wanted to get into, say, trading, or let's say you wanted to get into poker, no limit hold'em. You can get into the micro accounts and go to the tables that have 2 cent and 2 cent small blinds, 5 cent big blinds, and with $100 you could trade for a year or play cards for a year. Okay, so reversal might be unlikely, and we go to new lows. Sounds good. Yeah, it's Bitcoin was the sacrifice needed for blockchain to live. I used to refer to it more as the Trojan horse. That Bitcoin kind of ushered in blockchain like a Trojan horse. Bitcoin was the horse, and then blockchain are the Trojans inside. Glad to hear that, Hasey. Drank 3 beers for lunch and nachos. Lunch of champions, I guess. Cryptos were the way for blockchain to go mainstream. Its purpose was done. Now it will die. That I'm not so sure of. I think cryptos still have, and quite frankly, blockchain isn't the end-all be-all. It's okay for certain things, but not for everything. Why not move away from the crypto and actually do some analysis on soybeans, pork, belly, sugar, cocoa, palladium, rather than ETH? I don't do any analysis on anything but Bitcoin. And I do almost every day release trade calls and talk about them. I didn't do it today, but I will be doing it tomorrow. And I talk about all those different futures products. Lately, though, the only futures that have been coming up on our system are things like the ES, Mexican peso, the Aussie dollar, gold, and a few others. But we have actually got into soybeans and others in the past. Ernie, do you gamble on online casinos? No. I suck at cards. I love cards, but I suck at them. I suck at pool, but love pool. I suck at crypto, but I trade. You do everything you suck at. I love pool. I don't suck, but I'm not a pro. If I had some time to practice, I could be a pro. I have the talent. When I was younger, I did practice a lot, and I became an open player, which is like a low level pro. But I need a table downstairs in order to put in the time. And I do have pool tonight and tomorrow night. I do a weekly 9-ball tournament. Invest in rare earth minerals. Okay. Message you on Twitter with a screenshot of what I was referring to, Ernie. Your tooth kicker. Okay. You're a pro, don't lie. I'm just waiting for someone to offer up a game, I guess. But no, I am right now. When I'm in stroke, I am definitely an A player, but I'm not a pro. Okay, so I'm interested in what the message is on Twitter. My Twitter account, by the way, has you're a Hayseed, you're a D player in the South. This media is hidden to you because it's from someone you don't follow. So I guess I'd have to follow you to see the media. So I'm following you now. And let's see if I can see this here. What are we talking about? Huh. So it says your entries appear to be spam. That's really weird. I don't know what that's about, Nick. I wonder what the problem is there. I genuinely don't understand. A D player, that's an F player in the north. So in general, our pool players down south of a lower ability than those in the north. Is that what we're led to believe? D player is pretty bad. Invest in fresh water. We're going to see lesser and lesser of that. There's always going to be water. Well, I guess it depends on where you are. I'm on well water here, and I live in the middle of a wildlife sanctuary, and the wells are inside the sanctuary, so it's pretty cool. I'm of the impression that everything is better in the north, except for the winters. That's one thing that I can tell you that's not better in the north. All right. So we're an hour into this. I don't like to go over an hour. I want to say that I really appreciate everybody coming on and joining us here today. Please hit the like button and share this video. Hit the like button. Oh, and by the way, next time I'm going to put up a reminder for tomorrow's show. If you can go there and hit the like button even pre-show, that would help. For some reason, somebody, when I put it up, hit the thumbs down button before I even started the show. How can you do that? That doesn't make any sense. All right, guys. Thank you very much for showing up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.